would you like to introduce these two players, Lurlian?
Yes, I would much love to do that. Maddles, guys, welcome to the ESET UK Masters Showdown show match series is really what it is. We're going to be playing two show matches today. The first one you're watching right now between Rotcod and Shibbxyz, and the next show match is going to be a best of 9 between Zictamini, the Zerg player, and Fnatic Harstem, of course, the Protoss player. But right now we're going to be tuning into Shibbxyz versus Rotcod. Shibbxyz is the red Zerg player spawning in the bottom right corner, as our observer was pointing out that in the top left we have Rotcod, of course the blue Protoss player. He was able to expand to a really early third base and hold on to it, but it was not enough to win him game number 1. Will he be going for a similar strategy in game 2, or will he do something on 2 base this time around?
We'll wait and see. The 3-base play is, in my opinion, the way Rotcod went for it in Game 1, something that you can only pull off once. It was scouted very quickly, and I'm sure Shibbxyz will keep a Zergling or something there to see if it comes down just as early this game, because, to be honest, Rotcod cut a lot of corners. We saw the 4 very early gas, which meant he didn't have many gateway units out, which made him very vulnerable taking out that 3rd base. So, we'll wait and see what they're going to do, but I'm thinking 2-base play out of Rotcod, going into a 3rd, probably not 2-base all-in, whereas Shibbxyz, he should play pretty straight up. He won't want to take too many risks being a game up in this series already. So while we're waiting to see what they're going to do in the mid-game, we should point out that, of course, this is all put on by the ESET UK Masters, so make sure you check them out on Twitter, at ESET UK Masters. Make sure you give them a follow. Make sure, of course, you check them out on Facebook as well. And, yeah, if you want any antivirus, go to eset.co.uk/gamers, and you can get it there.
Yep, the main sponsors of this event, of course, being ESET. They provide really good antivirus software for gamers. This day, I was playing a 2v2 with a friend of mine, and all of a sudden, he left the game, and I was like, what happened? He came back 10 minutes later saying it was a forced restart after an update of his antivirus software, and that lost me that 2v2 game. Of course, not really the biggest deal ever, but it does piss me off. You know, I'm like playing a really good game, playing a 30-minute macro game with my friend. We're about to win, then he disconnects and I lose.
Indeed. It'll be so much better in Heart of the Swarm when, of course, they introduce the return from replay feature or the reconnect feature. That will be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. But so far, we're seeing something very interesting out of Rotcod yet again.
Yeah.
He went Nexus first into a double gateway, no Forge, which is something you hardly ever see on this map, especially in this sort of strategy. We've got the final pylon getting chucked down to complete the wall off in order to keep these Zerglings out for the moment. And I think that's a wise choice. The Zealot now on its way, but Shibbxyz will be aware that, hey, there's these 2 gateway down. That means there's going to be quite a few Zealots hitting the field, and as a result, I need to make sure I've got a couple of Zerglings, and maybe even a Spine Crawler, or, as we're seeing Shibbxyz go for, just straight to the Rotcod to deal with that. So I think that's a good thought process out of Shibbxyz, and it's going to put him in a good position.
Yeah, this is a cool strategy to be seeing once more. I believe this strategy was popularized by Naniwa on an MLG, I think a year ago, or maybe even more than a year ago, back when an entire different metagame was still present. And if unscouted, these Zealots could do a lot of damage. If all of a sudden 5 Zealots are marching across the map, the Zerg might be too late to drop Spine Crawlers at his 3rd base and might not have the Roach Warren out in time. But Shibbxyz, not neglecting to scout, and he was able to see the 2 gateways, knows a lot of Zealots are going to be out on the field, starts an early Roach Warren and delays his 3rd, which is exactly how he should respond to this.
Indeed it is. You know, and that's really something that a lot of lesser Zerg players may slip up on, is they may still try and take their 3rd base, seeing the fact that the Protoss player has gone for their natural at an early point, a fast expansion, think, hey, I've got to take my 3rd base at 4 to 4 minutes 20 then. But what Shibbxyz's doing, as you correctly say, Lurlian, is just delaying it so you can deal with these Zealots that are coming across. And these 5 Zealots are going to be incredibly irritating. The 6th one joining the mix as well now. The Roach Warren is done, the first Roach on its way, but as we can see, not that many units out yet for Shibbxyz.
I think Shibbxyz was not expecting these Zealots to actually come and attack him, and now he is in some trouble. He does have 6 larvae already, but he doesn't have the supply. He's supply blocked. What a critical moment to be supply blocked out. Only 1 Roach coming out right now, and if Rotcod would be attacking right now, he'd be in an amazing position. No Spine Crawlers, only 2 Queens and a Roach, but he's waiting.
I don't know why he's waiting, to be honest, because he should just be pushing in right now. All he saw was the queens there, unless, of course, he saw the 1 Roach and thought there would be more on the way, in which case Shibbxyz has got off very lucky. But as we can see, something incredibly exciting is happening, Lurlian. There is a Nidus on its way down, and, well, I love Nidus play. I don't know about you, but it always means fun. The Overlord is positioned there. There's an Overlord of the third as well, but I'm expecting to see the Nidus to come down at the lower left of Rotcod's main base.
I'm expecting that too, and there it is. This is going to be so difficult for Rotcod, if not impossible to deal with. He's only going to have Zealots out on the field because that double gateway strategy, and he's taking a really early third Nexus. He's going to have cannons and Zealots to defend, but the cannons are not in his main base. There is the Nidus Worm popping out. We see at least 10 roaches out on the field right now. Not all of them are in the main base just yet. The Queen's even joining in, sort of spreading some creep here. This is looking amazing for Shibby.
Indeed it is. This is such a hard position to come out in. The only slight potential advantage, or the saving grace that Rotcod will have in this situation, is that he's got his third base coming out, so if he loses his main, he will still be on 2 bases. And as we're seeing, Shibby pulling back, he's done a little bit of damage, and just keeps a few roaches there ready to deal with this, because if we look down to the main base of Shibby, he has got a lot of Zealots in there doing some damage, so Rotcod able to utilize those Zealots in a way to save himself for at least the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, but the Nidus Worm is still alive in the main base. The Zealots are going to get cleaned up in a matter of seconds. There are enough roaches here to defend against that. Really good decision by Shibby, bringing back those roaches from the main base that were attacking the Nexus, and he brought them back. Now, Rotcod realizes, I need to kill this Nidus if I want to win this game, and he's trying to focus it down with some probes and some sentries. Only 2 roaches able to get out. So we now have a total of 4 roaches in the main base, but roaches are running in through the front as well. And one of them does manage to get by the cannons.
Indeed it does. Another Nidus is being produced in the main base of Rotcod, and, well, all these probes getting pulled, trying to take it out, do manage to do so. But, well, as we can see, Shibby is spreading creep nicely in his opponent's main base, and that's irritating because that reduces the amount of places you can put pylons and obviously production structures. A few roaches managing to get into the natural base of Rotcod, only 2, but still, lots of lost mining time here for the Blue Protoss player.
Yeah, the supplies are really telling the tale of this game right now. Rotcod is losing more and more, lost so many probes. Let's take a look at that worker kill tab. 24 workers killed by Shibby, and only 1 worker killed by Rotcod. Really amazing defense by Shibby, who's now expanding to a 3rd base. And even though our Protoss player is technically on 3 bases as well, he only has 25 probes. He only has 25 probes.
Indeed, and that's not a good position to be in. We've got the Nidus coming down now at the 3rd base as well. Roach is streaming out with only probes there to try and get rid of it. It's not going to work yet. More workers are getting taken down there by Shibby. So this 3rd Nexus is definitely going down. There's no way that Rotcod is going to be able to defend that. The income really tells the story. Over 1,000 minerals a minute and 350 gas a minute for Shibby compared to the, well, 150, 200 gas and 700 minerals for Rotcod. So with that, with the worker difference, Rotcod has got to do some amazing play in order to come back from this, but